Hello and welcome to the Admirals esports predicted tier list for Dragonflight Season 2. The new patch is out and the hotfixes for May 17th are already applied. In this video, we're going to have a look at how the meta of 3v3 and Solo Shuffle Arena has changed. You will learn which classes became stronger and which classes have been knocked down the ranks. The tier list is based not only on the class in a vacuum, but also on the strength of the composition it can play and how it scales with other classes in Solo Shuffle. However, before we start, be sure to check out the Admirals esports webpage and Twitch channel to keep up to date with our tournaments and other World of Warcraft related events. We're also planning on releasing a series of educational PvP class videos as well, so if you're willing to learn a new class or get better at that ult you've been too scared to pick up, keep your eyes open. Without further delay, let's take a look at the melee tier list. For the S tier, we are predicting Demon Hunter, Enhancement Shaman, Feral Druid, and Subtlety Rogue. For the A tier, Windwalker Monk, Assassination Rogue, Retribution Paladin, Arms Warrior, Frost Death Knight, Survival Hunter, and Fury Warrior. And finally for the B tier, Outlaw Rogue and Unholy Death Knight. After the most recent changes in meta, Enhancement Shamans have found their place in the S tier. An excellent brawler spec as always, the utility that Shamans provide for the team combined with a sudden insane burst and overall high pressure makes them an outstanding teammate for warriors, sub-rogues, and ferals. There are two types of Enhancement Shaman spec, and both are viable. Lava Lash spec with Unleash, and classic Doomwind Wind Fury spec. Earth Shield healing has been reduced by 30% in PvP combat for Enhancement Shamans, which is a slight nerf, but Enhancement Shaman still remains in the S tier. We have Play Subtlety Rogue in the S tier because of their high burst and setup potential. The sub-rogue playstyle revolves around heavy control and frequent burst windows, so it's no surprise that they are excellent with being paired with a Destruction Warlock or a Mage. However, do be aware that this class may be difficult for inexperienced players, as without expert play, it will take unhealable damage. Despite having less damage than some of the other classes represented in S or even A tier, Arms Warrior may well compensate for that by using their unique abilities like Sharpen Blade at the right time to create huge pressure or score kills. One of the changes of patch 10.1 is reduced duration on crowd control. However, warriors have only had their Stormbolt nerfed, and are now picking up Shockwave as an additional 4-second stun, making them even more disruptive than before. Classes Arms Warriors pair well with are Enhance and Red, due to the Mortal Strike healing reduction these classes lack, and the huge damage and utility that they bring. Now, let's move on to the ranged DPS tier list. At S we have Balance Druid, Frost Mage, Elemental Shaman, and Destruction Warlock. At A we have Beastmaster Hunter, Shadow Priest, Fire Mage, Demonology Warlock, Marksmanship Hunter, Arcane Mage, and Devastation Evoker. Finally at B we have Affliction Warlock. Frost Mage receives some love from Blizzard by getting most of their damage ability significantly buffed. One of the huge strengths of Frost Mage is its instant damage, meaning it cannot be disrupted when bursting with Ice Lances and Flurries. Frost Mage also has great caster damage from Frostball and Frostbomb Shatters, meaning that if left unchecked, the mage can solo your team. Frost Mages pair very well with Destruction Warlocks, Boomkins, and Rogues. This is due to their ability to slow the game down through their huge snares, allowing the Frost Mage team to avoid damage while dishing out immense pressure. A free casting Destruction Warlock is one of the most potent classes in the game, with a double Chaos Ball combo allowing them to 50-0 almost any class. Due to the strength of casters, it's expected there will be less melees on the ladder. This is an inadvertent buff to Destruction Warlocks as warrior melee cleaves are their biggest weakness. Although the instant damage of Shadowburn was nerfed in the patch, it was so overtuned you can barely feel a difference. As a result, Destruction Warlocks is safely on the S tier, being able to be paired with just about any class in the game with excellent results. Balance Druid's huge damage, 6-second Cyclone, and strong defensives are making them comfortably sit in the S tier as well. It's definitely not the easiest to play. You need to practice positioning, multi-dotting, kiting, and recycloning can be difficult to time. But once you learn to perform it right, your Boomkin will be scary. Balance Druids do great with Demon Hunters, as they have a lot of crowd control on different diminishing returns, and provide a Mortal Strike effect. Due to their ridiculous amount of damage, Balance Druids also pair well with any caster as the damage will eventually overwhelm even the best of healers. Speaking of healers, here they are to round out the tier list. In S we have Restoration Druid, Restoration Shaman, Discipline Priest, and Mistweaver. In A we have Preservation Evoker and Holy Priest. B we have Holy Paladin and Fistweaver, and finally we have Protection Paladin. In Season 2, Discipline Priest is clearly one of the best healers in the game. The patch has fixed Priest's issues with mana, allowing him to play long arena games. On top of that, Priest has exceptional emergency healing and damage mitigation tools. Pain Suppression provides 40% damage reduction and can be used while the priest is stunned. You can have 2 charges of Pain Suppression and use them one after another. On top of that, Power Word Life, Radiance, and Void Shift allow this priest to quickly top the target even in situations when the game seems over. We recommend Discrease for the players who are willing to try healing in Arena, and also to experienced healers, if they consider adding them as a spec to their arsenal. Discrease are currently doing great with high control comps such as Rogue Mage or Rogue Warlock. Preservation Evokers deserve attention, as it was actually a hard decision to put them in the A tier. Against certain setups, Preservation Evoker might be the best healer in the entire game. We're talking about setups like Frost DK and Monk for example, that are doing insane bursts at the start of the game, followed with a spam of instant crowd control to the healer. Evoker has the necessary tools to shine in the moments like this: time dilation to reduce the burst damage, anti-crowd control provided by the Shroud, and a huge amount of instant healing. If the Evoker cannot escape the crowd control, or does not want to trinket it, he can always use Emerald Communion from it, and top himself and his teammates if his HP is already full. Preservation Evoker will often look to play compositions where they utilize their Sleepwalk or Oppressing Roar to win the game, due to their mana being their biggest weakness. Compositions higher rank Evokers are playing are with Destruction Warlocks, Rogues, and Ferals. That's all for this one. Make sure to follow the Admirals Esports channel to stay up to date about the current meta changes and our upcoming educational PvP videos.